really don't know how to follow that awesome grant because that's a tough act to follow. But congrats, guys. That's
Can I
awesome.
say something real quick?
Yeah. You want the mic?
No, with the Dream Grant, Matt did the logo.
Yes.
branding for it.
My pleasure. Yeah,
It's in it, it's really dreamy and awesome.
it was nice to work on that. Absolute joy. Speaking of mostly joy, I did a book, you guys, a crazy book. What's funny about books is I didn't realize at the time, and John, if you can go to the next slide. The reason that question is there, who needs another book? Because roughly every year, 1 million to 4 million books get made. I did not know this. So that was kind of a lot to take in. So I thought to myself, yeah, is it really worth diving into this passion project that I definitely am spending time away from paying accounts to work on? And so what happened is, as many of us were, COVID kind of gave me that time that I didn't know I wanted or needed. Next slide, please, John. And so I took a chance, and that kind of is the quick theme for just the whole activity of doing a passion project, I would call this, is that it is worth just taking that chance. You don't know where it's going to lead. And so at the time, when COVID hit, half of my accounts just went away. The touring business, bands were not touring. So I still took that chance, and back in 2007, I reached out to Wilco, which, the next slide, please, John. And so that one email, that single email to Wilco's management, still my favorite band. Jeff Tweedy is just an incredible artist. And next slide, please, John. So that one email, taking that chance, led to roughly a lot of other work. And this was back in the day of gigposters.com. Don't visit it now, somebody else owns it. But pre-Facebook, that website was just an incredible source of design inspiration and connecting with art directors and bands. And so yeah, that one chance led to so much more work. And I thought just a few slides, if I could show you guys some of the details of some of my pieces that were a real joy to do. This one was for a nice local show. You might have heard of Thomas Wolfe Auditorium at the time. So this was a illustrated poster for Wilco's Asheville show. And this one, lo and behold, got us a nice little print regional poster award back in, I guess it was 2017. And for the record, I've lost way more awards than I've won, but that was a nice result. And so then I've got a little process video, if we can go to the next one. And I apologize for my crappy video. I need to hire who did the last one. But so this is just to give you guys a little background on some of the ways you build up an idea. And typically it's just a sketch for me. Clients can kind of see it. Hopefully they have a vision. And so this one was really just based on an idea that every band member of Wilco would be represented by a cute, adorable Asheville native animal, hopefully. And so became an inking and then just kind of deciding on colors and doing the color separations. It's a fun aspect of gig posters is that you do get to get your hands dirty, which in this day and age doesn't happen often enough in my book. So it's nice to be able to get a little inky and do some illustrations, and we can move on. I don't know how long this goes. Thanks, John. Another fun one, this was right after the Miracle on the Hudson, and a nice aspect of bands that play certain cities. They love to tie in local stories or local interest. So this was a fun one that Jeff just loved the idea for his tour. His guitar safely landing in the Hudson. And again, you get to kind of just get dirty. So this one was for Mike Gordon, who plays bass in Fish and has his own successful solo career. And pretty much minus a couple scans, this poster was totally done by hand. And if we go to the next slide, you see some of the color separations, the silk screens. And again, it's just a fun thing that you don't know how it's going to turn out until it's ink on paper, which is kind of exciting. Another poster that I enjoyed doing was, lo and behold, for Wilco. This was the ship in the bottle for a show in Norfolk, Virginia, on the coast there. And the next slide will just show some of the process you get to illustrate. This was getting my stipple on. I don't think that's anything that anyone says. Get your stipple on. That's a good one. And then, let's end with Tedeschi Trucks Band. This is another poorly put together process video by me. And again, sometimes it's a super basic idea that the band just has that ability to be like, okay, yeah, we can see where you're going with that. And so finding imagery, creating imagery, it's just kind of a hodgepodge of collage sometimes, and or hand-drawn stuff. This one in particular didn't have a whole lot of hand-drawn stuff, and that's kind of the fun of the work that became the book. So you just never know. So again, getting into color steps. And we can move on. And so then one of my heroes in life is David Letterman. So I did some work with a band called Everest. They're out of LA. And they opened for Neil Young and got some attention, and like many bands that should be better known, they're just not. But they did make it onto Letterman's show, which they were awesome to support really good creative bands. I just love that the cover was designed with the floating man, the man that's in the water, and poor Dave held the album wrong, but it still counts. Still kind of cool. Big fan of spaghetti westerns, and it's really cool when you can take that love of something, doesn't really matter what it is, and then turn it into the actual poster for the artist. This one was for Eric Church. And so Eric Church this is actually a triptych, so far left is one poster, middle is another poster, and far right is the third. So together they make that one image for a Cincinnati show. So again, just total enjoyment to get to create this stuff. And it's always really amazing and humbling to kind of see an artist like Ben Harper signing your stuff for a show that he's doing. Those moments definitely don't take for granted. And then lastly, one last process video for Fairville, Milwaukee. Ironically, a band not from Milwaukee. This particular one was pretty strongly directed by the band. They had a vision for this visual. Sometimes that's not the case. They get to kind of just have total creative freedom, but in this case, they were pretty adamant that it had a certain Native American theme to it for album reasons. This is only like 15 minutes long, so don't worry. No, it's like a minute. Sorry. And it's nice, the symmetry and energy between music and art. Obviously, it goes way back. So one creative act leads to another. So this is just kind of a nice process video of that marriage. And I'm still old. I was old in that video, and I'm still even older tonight. So again, there's the layered version and the finished artwork. So then, to end, Jeff Tweedy was super sweet to write the foreword to the book, and just amazing. And it took over a year to make that happen, because he's a busy guy that's doing a lot of work. But I stayed after it, and that's what it takes. Just to, again, we'll end with that theme. The next slide, just take a chance. You never know where that leads, and I feel bad because I wanted to start with a thank you to AIGA Asheville. So in there. Thank you.
Awesome. And Matt didn't mention that he has his books for sale back there. So anyone wants to pick one up?
He'll sign them too.